together. 1, 2, 3, smile.
What's up with dude?
What you mean?
Oh no, I feel like he's staring at us.
You can't even see his eyes, Vincent. Actually, let's get him in the picture. Just
He is really staring at this.
now it's time to ride.
Glenn watch that later. The Vince Staples shit.
A string of shootings at the beach with 1 dead and 4 injured. There are currently no...
And then he claimed he was in the wrong room and ran out.
I'd like to present these photos, previously marked as exhibits S5A and S5B. This is the seagull from Brenton's bike. Is that the seagull that you recovered from Brenton's room after your encounter with the defendant?
Yes, it is.
Mrs. Butler, why do you think that Officer Jablonski would remove evidence from the crime scene and then leave it in the hospital room of the victim?
Because he felt guilty. He knew what he did to my son. He knew. He knew.
Thank you. No further questions.
Mrs. Butler, please let me convey my deepest sympathy for your loss. I know this must be very hard for you.
It's never hard to talk about my son.
And I understand you must have wanted answers after this tragedy. Who did this? Why was Brenton in that park that morning?
Objection! Is there a question for the witness?
I'll rephrase. You were searching for answers, Mrs. Butler. Is that why you followed my client? Why you waited outside of his house?
I knew he knew something.
How many times did you go to his house?
I don't remember exactly.
More than twice. 3, 4 times maybe.
Maybe.
Does that include the time you accosted him at the Green Place Market in Bayonne?
He was avoiding me.
This is what I'm struggling to understand, Mrs. Butler. My client could have brought that seagull out of sympathy, no? Why did you assume it meant he killed your son?
I didn't at first.
Is it possible you had answers, Mrs. Butler, just not the ones you wanted?
I don't understand the question.
Let me give you a concrete example. Why did you pick up Brenton at Port Authority on August 4th, 2016?
Objection!
Overruled. The issue has already been decided.
Answer the question.
He had been arrested.
Right. In the company of Caduce Porter for criminal possession of narcotics with the intent to distribute.
It was 2 joints. I worked at St. Peter's School. Half those kids had 10 times that amount in their locker.
How many of them have been arrested with a known member of the largest street gang in Jersey City?
Brenton wasn't in a gang.
How can you be so sure?
Because I'm his mother.
Isn't it possible he might have kept his gang affiliation from you precisely because you're his mother?
No. I know my son. I would have known.
Do you know why he was in Liberty Park that morning?
No.
Are you still employed at St. Peter's Prep?
Not currently.
I understand it's been hard since Brenton's death. You and your husband both lost your jobs. You have a mortgage on a new house.
What does this have to do with Brenton?
Have you ever met Jay Sterling?
Yes.
Jay's an accomplished civil litigator. He has a lot of experience with wrongful death suits against municipalities. Is that why you sought him?
No, he said that he could help get justice for Brenton.
You mean with a civil suit?
No.
That's how it works, right? You get a criminal conviction, and the city almost guarantees you a generous offer.
It wasn't about the money. It was about making him tell the truth.
Of course. But the money would help. No further questions, Your Honor.
I failed him. I failed Brenton.
You showed them who Brenton was, and the jury won't forget them.
The money. All I remember is the money. Like they killed Brenton all over again.
I need to testify.
Mr. Butler, she's gonna try and do the exact same thing to you, and if you waver at all...
I won't. I won't.
Why did you move, Mr. Butler?
Grew up all my life in those projects. I promised myself one thing. When I had a family, I was going to get them out of there as soon as I could.
So you saved up for this house?
Took me near on 10 years, but yes, I did. And I don't need any settlement from the city to pay my mortgage. I pay my own bills, always have.
And was part of the reason you moved to get Brenton out of the projects?
Yes. When a boy reaches a certain age, the world has a way of asserting itself. I didn't want that for Brenton. He wasn't built for that. He was different.
Mr. Butler, did you see any evidence that Brenton was involved in gang activity of any kind?
No. He was not in the gang. And that bike he was on, the one the Kings ride, it wasn't his.
You mean the bike Brenton was riding when he was hit?
Yeah. A friend loaned it to him.
And what makes you so certain that your son wasn't in the Five Kings?
When you're a king, you got a front.
That's the thing about washing your laundry when you don't have.
Be ready to throw down at any time.
It's easy to put your clothes into a
My son wasn't
machine
hard.
that has already taken bleach,
He
but
was
you
kind
don't
and
know.
good. Sweet. Still wore the clothes his
You
mama
don't
bought
know
for him.
because you're just going in there and washing your clothes. And a lot of these facilities, like laundry rooms and stuff and laundry places, they don't go in there and clean.
Okay,
That's their
questions,
job. When you work at a laundry room and you're there to, you're there to
Whose
clean.
bike
You
was
have to
it,
clean out these
Mr. Butler?
washers. You have to
It was
clean
his
out these
friend,
dryers so
Caduce
people
Porter.
don't make
The same
mistakes like
Caduce Porter
this.
that Brenton
You
was
know?
arrested with?
I didn't even use
Yes.
no bleach. But the fact that
Isn't
there
it
was already
possible or
bleach in the
even
machine
likely
when I went
that
to go
Caduce
wash my
loaned Brenton that
clothes,
bike, that
now I'm
expensive,
dealing with
high-status
bleach
bike,
stains on my clothes.
because Brenton was in fact a member of the Five Kings?
No, I asked Caduce. He said
And
the
wait till
bike
I
was
get a
his.
family in the house
You
because
believe in your own gang
I
member?
want my own
I believe
washer
a
and
boy
I
I've
want my
known
own
since he was a
dryer.
child.
I was thinking
Do you have
about
any
getting this
family
washer
members
though.
who
There's
are
this
involved with the
washer
case?
on Amazon where you can eventually
Your youngest brother,
somewhere
Seth,
down the line, future,
he was a known
you
member.
know, not
Isn't that
present
true?
tense, but in the
Seth got
future.
out.
I want to go ahead and get this
Enlisted in the
washer
Air
off
Force, served his
Amazon.
country.
It's a
He never
portable
would have been
washer.
involved in
And
any
you
of that.
just
Still,
wash
with
your
so
clothes
many
by the
gang
sink. I guess
members
you
in his
hooking up by the
life,
sink.
he must have been afraid
And
that he'd get caught up in that world.
I guess
Can you
like
tell
I
me
was
about
gonna do
your
that, and then I was
involving
gonna
social services
go
from
ahead and
September
go to the laundry room and
2016?
dry my clothes. You know, that's way cheaper. So I was just gonna do that. I was gonna get my
Apparently,
washer, hook it up,
Brenton went to class
wash my clothes
with a
in
mark
here, so I don't
across
go
his
through
calves.
this mess where I'm always bleaching
I
my
had
clothes.
disciplined
And
him
I
with
don't
a
use
belt.
bleach, but everybody else uses bleach, and they're
He
not
hadn't come
cleaning the
home that night.
machines. They're not doing
And I used the
anything
belt just
to
that
those
one
machines.
time,
They're not
never
cleaning
again.
them or nothing. So now I'm dealing with, you know,
My son was an upstanding young
I'm
man.
suffering. My clothes is suffering from what other people is
And
doing.
yet, the teacher called social
And what the
services.
facility is not
She
doing
was that
themselves.
alarmed
They're
by the
not
bruising.
cleaning the
Objection,
machine.
hearsay.
Your
So,
Honor, I'd like to
it shouldn't
submit
be
these
I
records
shouldn't
from
have to go
Child
in there,
Protective Services,
you know, clean out the
dated September
machine
5th,
so that I can get my clothes washed and there's
Exhibit
no
D2.
mistakes or incidents like this where there's bleaching. I'm bleaching my clothes and stuff. So, yeah, that's what I done. That's what
Mr.
I don't
Butler,
like
you were
about
scared because you didn't know where Brenton been
washing
that
my
night.
sharing washers and dryers.
Is that correct?
Because it shouldn't be up to us where we gotta, you
And
know,
you
wipe
don't
out
know
our bleach and
if
stuff for the
Caduceus
next
recruited
person.
him
Do
into the
extra
Kings.
because
He didn't
the
belong.
And
the
you
cleaning
don't know
people
why
are
he was
not
in Liberty
doing
Park
enough.
that morning.
They're not doing
I
anything.
do know why.
They're going in there, they're taking care of the floors and stuff, but
He was
you're
coming through
not
the
you're
park
not
to go to
cleaning the
school.
washers and
Coming
dryers like
through
you're supposed to.
That
They're doing
park is
half
halfway across the
jobs.
city from his home and
You know,
school. Why would he bike there
when I was
to get
working,
to school?
that's the thing. I would handle
No further
everything.
questions.
That's why I don't understand
He
why
was with
people
another
ain't
boy.
doing their job.
Speak
You
up,
know,
Mr.
you getting
Butler.
paid. I used to say all the time, you getting paid to do your job. You know, you gonna get paid
He was
regardless.
with another boy.
You're getting paid regardless. So, you know, why not do more? You know,
He spent
act
the
like
night
you
with him.
passionate about it. Do something. Like, the more they
And then
see,
Brenton
and
went on to
if that's
school
the
that
thing, they're
morning
gonna
after.
keep you in the same position if they don't see that you're trying. They don't see no
The
effort.
boy,
You know, you're going to stay in that position, and you sitting there
he
like,
was
oh
my
yeah, I'm
son.
gonna get paid anyway, this and that. But guess what? You're going to stay right where you are. You're not going to get a raise. You're not going to get anything because you're not doing anything to show that you're serious about your
I'd like to
position.
move that
That's
last
how you
statement be
level up.
stricken from the record.
Your
You know,
Honor,
you
on what
level
grounds?
up by showing them
Hearsay.
that
The witness will say
you're
anything to
passionate
protect his
about your
son.
She can't
job.
just assume that he's
You know,
lying.
you know how many
Sustained.
times like I was,
Counselor.
I'm a cleaner,
Tone.
but at the same time they paid attention to my work, and that's the reason why I got my raises.
That portion of the
That's the
testimony
reason
will be
why I
stricken
got
from the
sent
record.
to different
And
Your Honor?
locations, and I'm not stuck at one location
I know who the
because they
boyfriend
like
is.
the way
I'd
I
like to
clean.
add him
They're
as a
putting
witness,
me, you know,
and
in
I
different
request that he be
places
allowed to
because,
testify
you
in
know,
camera
they
to
like
protect
it.
his
They like
identity.
what they see. If you just gonna sit here and you're not doing nothing, you just thinking, oh yeah, it's just about the money. I'm just getting paid. You know what? You really got a lot to learn.
Thank you, officers.
Cause you can
Young
definitely,
man, please have a seat.
you know,
over
you
here.
can climb up that ladder. You thinking this is just it. It's not really, it's not just it. It's all about performance. It's the way you perform.
I'm not a lawyer. I know
You're
my
not
rights.
showing
You
great
don't need a lawyer.
performance,
You've
then
been
yeah,
called as
they
a
just
witness.
gonna,
About what?
you know, leave
This
you where
court
you at
can compel you
and
to
forget
testify.
about you. It ain't the fact that
Testimony was
you
given
know, I'm
today
relevant,
about
so
your
I'm because I'm
relationship
still
with
here.
Brenton Butler.
No,
Look,
you're
Brenton
still
wasn't no
here
king.
because
So
you're
can I
not
go
that
now?
relevant.
No.
You're not doing
It's not what
anything
we're
to
asking.
show me that you're, you know,
Counselor,
you're
your witness.
worth putting out there, you know, showing off, sending to other places.
Caduce,
You're gonna
I know
stay
this is
right here
hard.
You do?
and do what you do,
You know
and
how I
then
look, cops pulling up on
I
the
mean,
corner,
you may
bringing
still
me
be
in
here, but I'm gonna hire
just
somebody else
means
that's gonna get your job done better than you.
What we
And
need
you
to
may
know
be
is
you
the
know,
nature of your
that's
relationship with
that's how
Brenton.
the
My
workforce
relationship.
works. And if you don't think, if you think
What
that's,
was
you know,
the exact
it's just,
nature of your relationship
I
with
got
Brenton Butler?
experience. That's all I'm saying. I got experience, and I know how it goes.
I know this is difficult, but
And
please,
it's all
if
about
you
your
can tell us.
performance.
Objection.
If you don't think it's about
Has
your
already given
performance and
Who the fuck is
you know,
she?
you just
You
want
will
to
watch
play,
your
and it's
language
just
in my
about the
presence,
money
young
to
man.
you, and you satisfied, you settle with getting these little pension
Send me
checks.
away, please.
Overruled. For the moment.
And
Mr. Butler
you
claims
got the wrong mindset.
you told him that you know where Brenton was
It's way
the night
about
before the
more
accident.
than that.
Can you tell us? And also,
Like I said, you're in
who he
that
was with,
position.
if anyone.
Nothing changing. Nothing is changing for you for a reason. You know, if you think you just like, I guess a lot of people may think like it's irrelevant. It's just a job and this and that. But like I said, I've been in that position before, so I know how it goes. And it's more than just a job. It's way more than just a job. Especially if you clean it. Cleaning, as you'd be surprised how relevant that job is and how the places that job can actually lead you. It can lead you to your own business.
I ain't never had no home where I felt
It don't just start and stop at one thing. You can get so much out of something that you don't know was nothing. But it's all about your performance. If you ain't performing right, or you're not performing to their liking, then it is just a job to you, because you ain't going nowhere. It's gonna stay exactly the same. You know, you ain't gonna benefit really. But speaking on my issues, you know, that's what I'm tired of doing extra when I don't have to.
Mr. Butler's testimony will remain in the record, and the court will provide the jury with transcripts of supporting testimony given in camera, which will otherwise remain sealed.
They need to change their mindset.
We've accomplished enough for one day. Court is adjourned until 10 a.m.
Because my clothes should not be getting bleached because y'all ain't doing your job of cleaning out the freaking machines like y'all supposed to. I can go in there right now and there's a whole bunch of detergent laying on top of the freaking washers and stuff because they ain't clean.
You had a good day today. Congratulations. You should celebrate. Have a drink.
Thank you.
Did it for Brent.
I know. But if you ever need a place to lie low, come see me, understand? You got a lot more room these days.
I'm surviving this place my whole life. I ain't need nothing from you then, and I don't need it now. What you looking at? Go back to work.
I do so solemnly swear that I will support and defend.
I do solemnly swear that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States.
the Constitution of the United States
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Congratulations, you made a great decision.
Marcel told me that you wouldn't even let her come, and I said there's no way I was gonna let you ship off without saying bye.
Yeah, I already put y'all through it once. Figured you didn't need to repeat that.
Are you sure about this?
I ain't got nowhere else to go.
Come on.
At least off with the hair. I
This
know
lady,
Danny was
this lady
supposed
is
to be.
trying to get
The gun that I got
justice
from
for her
Blondie to kill
son.
Blonsky, it was
Her
granted by
son
another cop.
passed
His higher up.
due to somebody,
D'Angelo.
some gang members.
These
Killed
motherfuckers are making bank off our people's blood.
I should have never put that on you.
I gotta go.
She was at one point, like, she was
Stay
cool,
for
she was
me.
at peace with the situation.
Stay
She was
for
like,
your
"We gonna
boy."
get it regardless." Like, she had know, she kind of believed in the situation that it would take care of itself. But then this officer came to her door, you know, because, you know, it's their job. It's their job to resolve the situation. It's their job to put their case to rest. So in order for her to get her job done and get that off her back, then she had to convince this lady that it's not all right. You know, ain't this? She even said, she was like, this ain't gonna help the situation. This is not going to, you know, this is not going to make you feel any better, or this is not going to be this way is not going to be, you know, bring any chance or justice or peace to you. So she kind of convinced herself. The officer convinced the lady otherwise. And that's the thing. The officer probably did have. She probably was passionate about what she was saying to her.
What are you doing here?
But at the same time, it's like, you got to remember, you know, they just really doing their job.
You can't talk to nobody.
Whatever you feel is right. Like when she opened that door, she actually looked like she was at peace. Like she was cool. She was finally getting over it.
You see that kid before you kill him?
She just looked like she was all right. You know, she felt all right. And then, like I said, here comes an officer knocking for drama, knocking for that, you know, action. Knocking because it's their job. And now it's like she was standing at the door, and now she was crying, and she really felt some type of way after that. Like before, she wasn't. She was cool. She was at peace, and she was humble. And so it's like that officer awoken that inner, you know, that inner feeling again that she just laid to rest. She just made peace with. That officer came in there, knocking on her door, doing her job, you know, manipulating the situation and telling her, you know, what it takes, telling her what it takes to get her back up and reacting, just so she can settle her case, so she can close her case. You know, it's her job. That's what people gotta keep in mind. It's their job. It's not really about personal. It's not about the way you feel. It's not about you. It's about them getting their job done and over with. So whenever you feel the need to react or burst out of emotions,
what are you doing in my
feel
house?
some type of way, you gotta think at the back of your mind, it's their job to do that.
It's just gonna end, T. Where you gonna be at?
They're just doing their job. It's not about you.
Think about it.
In my situation, if I was feeling good and I was feeling at peace, you know, the thing is, I wouldn't open my door for you to give me a reason not to feel the way I'm feeling right then and there.
Okay.
You know, the whole time she was at her door, I was just thinking, like, she need to close her door. Just close your door, walk away, and just, you know, feel the way you're feeling, because she just coming to stir up drama so she can get her job done. It's about her job. Like I said, they can make you feel some other way because just how passionate they come off. Their passion just makes you feel passionate, but it's all about the reason. You know, why are the reason behind their
Stay away from me.
See, I ain't gonna hurt them.
But like I said, what I was telling you, what I was saying before about me working in a workforce, I was passionate about my job. I was really, really passionate. But I guess it's just, it all comes down to yourself. You know, when these people come at you, you know, you gotta really just pay attention to
you and me
how
got a
you're
difference
feeling
with him,
inside.
but he's family. And you gotta accept family.
Severe hypothermia, cardiac arrhythmia, massive blood loss, and a concave fracture to his skull.
I
immediately moved Mr. Butler to an operating room to more safely assess the injuries to his head. How severe was his injuries? Severe.
I was good.
I had to put away his jacket and hood.
I had enough. I had
The
more
hood
than enough
itself was
hours.
tightly
I was so
cinched,
good at my
and
job that I
therefore,
was I had
keeping
more
parts of
than
the skull
enough
intact.
hours. Like,
I had to be
they
careful
gave
not
me
to
more
displace
hours.
the
I
fragments.
was, you know,
Why is that?
I was good.
If I had just
I was
removed
really
the hood,
good.
skull shards would have dug into the brain and caused further damage.
And I was
Despite all
passionate,
this,
you know, I
you
was
testified
passionate.
before the grand jury
But I wasn't,
that
like I said, I
Brenton
wasn't
could have
passionate
lived
about the pay. I
had
was
he been found
passionate
earlier.
about,
Yes,
you know, the way it
but
made me feel.
ultimately
When I
the
go out
damage
and
due to
clean,
blood
just
loss was
like
too
you
great.
said, I can't say
It caused
cleaning
organ
at home
failure,
was the same
necrotizing
way,
tissue,
because
and
it's not,
further brain
it's not the
damage.
same feeling.
His
But it's
body just
like,
gave out.
it was like more of a,
No more questions, Your Honor.
just, I don't know, cleaning is just like,
Does the defense wish to cross?
No, Your Honor.
it's all about what you make, what you make
Brenton's
the job
injuries
into.
were consistent with impact from an SUV weighing approximately 4,100 pounds, traveling at no less than 60
So what
miles
is
per
your
hour.
job?
Does the
to you? You have to
2014 Ford
visualize,
Escape
you
registered
know,
to
what-
Marie
what
Jablonski,
that job
Officer
means
Peter
to you.
Jablonski's
Like,
wife,
what is that job?
match the vehicle that hit Brenton?
Yes.
And is the match in make and model the only thing that links the Jablonski's car to the accident?
No, we recovered
It's like,
paint chips from the
the
victim's
longer
hair.
you do
We
something,
conducted
the more
a
it
type match
becomes
analysis and confirmed it was
what
OF
it becomes more
4092
than what it
Yale Blue.
actually
What
is.
color was the defendant's car, according to purchase records?
OF 4092
I
Yale
just
Blue.
did these.
Your
I
Honor,
gotta
objection.
figure them up.
This is all speculation.
I'll allow Ms. Harper to continue her line of questioning.
Now, an SUV driver
Thinking
sits
about
high above the
making
undercarriage.
my breakfast now.
Is it possible Officer
I
Jablonski
think I'm
hit
going
Brenton
to.
without realizing that he was a human being?
Brenton was moving perpendicular to the defendant's direction of motion, and on the bike, the driver should have had a clear
So
profile.
I'm gonna go ahead and
If I were Brenton,
finish,
the driver would have seen me
Just
cross his field of
close.
vision like this
and that's the
as he hit me with his car.
TV if y'all can see
Is that a
it.
fair assessment?
It is.
So Officer Jablonski had every reason to stop after impact and no reason to doubt that he hit a young black boy.
None whatsoever.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Is it unusual such a small amount of paint was recovered from Brenton's body and none was found on the bike?
Not really. Since Brenton was washed in the ER, we were lucky to recover anything. As for the bike, you might expect to see more paint, but that depends on where the car made impact.
But absent finding the car that hit Brenton, you can't definitively